Hello, everybody. Welcome to True Life. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. My name is Sharleen. I'm going to be guiding you through your yoga practice this evening. I always recommend if you have a block or even a pillow or a towel, bring that along just to help you through your practice. This evening, we're just gonna flow a little, hold our poses. We're gonna get started in a peaceful warrior. So you wanna start with your legs, your knees about mat's distance, big toes and heels touch. And we're just gonna gently let your belly rest in between your thighs. Walk your hands all the way out to the top of your mat. Place your forehead gently on the mat. Here, guys, close your eyes. Take deep breaths in and out through your nose. Let's just start calming our mind for the evening. It is a 60-minute yoga flow, so the next 60 minutes is your 60 minutes. Take this time, release any stress, any bad energy, any negative thoughts in your mind. Release that right now. The next 60 minutes is to focus on yourself. Everything that's going on, this is your time right now to relax and just forget about everything. Just worry about yourself right now, your mind, your body. Try to relax all the muscles in your face. Relax your jaw. Let your tongue fall to the bottom of your mouth. Focus maybe on a color, a word, maybe a mantra, something that you could come back during this 60-minute flow to help you get through it. Slowly look between your hands, and then we're going to walk hand over hand to the right. Make sure your hips are still pushing down towards your heels. Place your forehead gently on the mat. Feeling this deep stretch on the left side of your body through the left rib cage. Just focus on your breathing. Every inhale, let your belly fill with air. And every exhale, let it come closer to your spine. Inhale. And exhale. Take your eye gaze in between your hands and walk hand over hand all the way to the left. Remember, keep your hips to your heels. Place your forehead on the mat and feel that stretch all along the side of that right body. Just really focusing on your breath. Your inhale should match your exhales. And then slowly walk back to center. One more time, place your forehead on the mat. We're going to go into a little shoulder stretch here. So from here, bring your hands into prayer. Have the outside edges of your hands flat on the mat. Bring the elbows closer to your ears, closer to your head. And from here, bend at the elbows, pushing down inside, down on those elbows, lifting your hand over your head in a prayer position. You should feel this stretch in your shoulders. Slowly waking up our body. Bring your hands back down towards the mat. Separate them, and then slowly start coming into your first tabletop. So a good tabletop, you want to make sure your hands, fingers spread wide. Your shoulders, you want to make sure they're over your wrists. Your knees should be about hips distance. You could always measure that by getting 2 fists, placing them in between your knees, and that's about hips distance. Make sure your hips are over your knees. Just really setting up a good solid tabletop here. Just going to work in some cat-cows. So a cat-cow, on your inhale, you're going to let your belly fall, and you're going to take your eye gaze and look all the way up to the ceiling. We're going to bring our chin to our chest, bring your belly to your spine, round and curl, exhale. Inhale. Inhale to cow, look up. And then exhale, bring your chin into your chest, round that spine, push the mat away. Inhale. Let that belly hang heavy. Look all the way up. And then exhale, round and curl. Inhale, look up. Let that belly hang. Let that eye gaze go all the way up. And then exhale, push that mat away. Round and curl. Bring your chin into your chest. One more time, inhale. Take that eye gaze all the way up. Take a little bit more air in. And then exhale, round and curl. Come back into a neutral tabletop. From here, you want to tuck your toes behind you. You want to lift up off the knees, let them hover just for one moment, and then you're going to lift those hips, push them all the way up and back into our first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. This might be our first down dog of the day. Maybe it's your first down dog of the flow right now. I've been doing down dogs all day, and that's perfectly fine. Wherever you're at, go ahead and wiggle it out. Maybe lift one leg in the air, then the other. I like to come high onto my tiptoes and then drop my heels over to the right and then push the mat away. Come high onto those tiptoes, drop them all the way over to your heels to the left, and then push the mat away. Come high onto your tiptoes, come back to the middle. Maybe shake it out one more time. Make sure you're really pushing the mat away, that your shoulders are out of your ears. Keep a micro bend into your elbows, into your knees. From here, what we're going to do is take that eye gaze in between those hands and just tiptoe all the way up towards the top of the mat. Coming into your Uttanasana, forward fold. If you have a block or a towel and you can't get your hands all the way down to the mat, it's okay. Bring that into play, and you can place your hands on that. Bring the mat up to you, towards you. Everybody bend your knees. Let your belly rest on your thighs so that you're not hyperextending those legs. Maybe it's our first forward fold, so, loosen. You got to let that lower back loosen up a little. Just breathe, relax your head, no tension in that neck. We're going to slowly come up one vertebrae at a time. Let those hands drag across the front of the legs. And inhale, bring those hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, swan dive forward. Come forward. Pull that belly to your spine, protecting your psoas muscle. Bring your hands to the mat. Let your head hang heavy. Nod it no. Shake it yes. We're just going to inhale, come all the way up again, one vertebrae at a time. Bring your hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend, let it go. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. We're going to go into a little yogi ball. So bring your fingertips to your mat. Come high onto those tiptoes. Bend your knees, tuck your chin into your chest, and then bring your forehead to your knees. If you can't get your forehead to your knees, that's okay, guys. Still come high onto those tiptoes and just tuck your chin to your chest. Squeeze those thighs with those biceps. Pull up through your pelvic floor. Stay high onto those tiptoes. Don't let your hips come to your heels. Lift that booty off the heels. Then inhale, we're going to come all the way up. Bring those hips up to the sky. Exhale, feet to the mat. Inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Lift your hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Come high onto your fingertips, high onto those tiptoes. Curl it into that little yogi ball. Keep that belly towards your spine. Keep that chin tucked into your chest. And breathe in and out through your nose. And then inhale, lift those hips all the way back up to the sky. Exhale, bring those heels down. Inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, your hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend, let it go. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, one more time. Let's swan dive forward. Coming high onto those tiptoes. Bend those knees. Bring that chin into your chest. Tuck and curl. Try to squeeze those thighs with your biceps. Keep that chin tucked. Keep that belly pulled in tight. Forehead to knees. Then inhale, lift those hips all the way up. Drop those heels down. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, your hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, swan dive forward. Coming right back into that Uttanasana. You're going to inhale, half lift. Exhale, down. And inhale, lift that right foot up to the sky, and then gently place it behind you. Coming into this first runner's lunge, you want to make sure your knee is over your ankle. You want to lift up through this back hamstring. Stay high onto that ball of that right foot. Try to shine through your chest. Don't let your body rest so much on your thigh. Stay high onto those fingertips. Look forward. Frame that foot. And all we're going to do is step it back to meet the right. Everybody, let's drop down to our knees here. Coming into a first plank pose. It is our first plank pose, so let's everybody come down to your knees. Make sure your shoulders are over your wrist. And all we're going to do is shift that body weight slightly over, and we're going to come all the way down. Hug those elbows into your rib cage. Come all the way down to your belly. Bring your forehead to the mat. Keep those elbows in towards your rib cage. We're going to inhale. We're going to just come up for a little baby cobra. So So come up, half lift, and then exhale, come down. Inhale, come up, and then exhale, come down. Keep those elbows into the rib cage. Inhale up, and then exhale down. We're gonna everybody push up to your knees, coming into your tabletop. We're gonna tuck our toes behind us, shift that body weight slightly over the wrists, come into that plank, pull that belly into your spine, and then slowly start lifting those hips up to the sky. Back into our downward facing dog. Just breathe here, in and out through your nose. I'm going to inhale, lift that right foot all the way up to the sky. Bring that knee into your chest. Roll it forward. Place that right foot in between your hands. So we're on a lunge on the right side. Make sure your knee is over your ankle. You want to keep pulling this right hip back, left hip forward. Keep pushing through the top of that hamstring. You want to lift that leg up. Stay high onto that ball of that the left foot. From here, bring your hands to your hips and slowly start coming all the way up. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Coming into a crescent lunge. Make sure you're rolling those shoulders out of your ears. You want to keep pulling up through this back hamstring. Don't let your leg hang. You want to push up. Make sure your knee is over your ankle. Hips are in alignment. Keep those hands up and overhead. And then you're going to exhale, do a little back bend. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, windmill that left hand down inside of that right foot. Leaving this right hand up to the sky. Coming into that side twisted lunge. Try to pull those rib cage underneath your body. Get deeper into the stretch. Bring that right hand down, frame that right foot, shift that body weight forward, bring that left foot up, coming into a standing L. Flex those toes behind you. Not into a full standing split. We're still warming up. Drop that left foot down to meet the right. You're going to inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up. Pinkies touch, cactus the arms, back bend, let it go. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift, hands into your shins. You want to push the crown of your head out, but keep your eye gaze 6 inches in front of your feet. Exhale down. Inhale, lift that left foot up to the sky. Step it behind you. We're in that runner's lunge on the right side. Just warming up with some Surya Namaskars. Sun salutes. Bring that right foot back to meet the left. Everybody drop down to your knees. Untuck your toes. Let your shins go flat. Shift that body weight forward. Exhale. Squeeze those elbows in. Hug them all the way down. You're going to inhale, baby cobra. And then exhale, come down. Just warming up our spine. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale, baby cobra. But this time, let your hands come up off the mat. You can really feel your back engaged here. And then exhale, come down. Everybody push up into your tabletop. Tuck your toes behind you. Shift that body weight slightly over your wrists. Coming into that plank. Push those hips up and back. The downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pedal out those legs here. Roll those shoulders out of your ears. Believe it or not, your down dog is your resting position in yoga. So whenever you're feeling overwhelmed or it's hard for you to push through, just come back to this position. Inhale, lift that left foot all the way up to the sky. Bring that left knee into your chest. Roll it forward. Place it in between your hands. So you're be on the left side, left your knee over your ankle. You want to make sure you're pulling that left hip back, right hip forward. Keep lifting up through this hamstring. Stay high onto that ball of that right foot. Bring your hands to your hips and then inhale, come all the way up. Like I said, remember to always lift up this hamstring, knee over ankle. Try to sink it down in those hips just a little bit more. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Roll those shoulders down and out of your ears. Inhale. And then exhale, back bend, let it go. Inhale, those hands back and overhead. Exhale, you want to bring that right hand inside of that left foot. Windmill that left hand up and around. Coming into that side twisted lunge. Remember, pull this rib cage underneath your body. Get a little deeper in that stretch. Slowly bring that left hand down to frame that left foot. Shift the body weight forward. Lift that right foot up. Coming into a standing L. Flex the toes behind you. Make sure you're pulling that belly up and under that rib cage. Just trying to get that belly to your spine. Drop that right foot to meet the left. And then inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up. And then exhale, back bend, let it go. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Gonna go into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana here. Keep those shoulders rolled down and out of your ears. You wanna make sure you're tucking through the tailbone. Lift up through your rib cage. Get a little bit longer. Grab your left wrist with your right hand, palm face up, roll those shoulders out of your ears. You're gonna inhale, get a little bit longer, and then exhale, we're gonna start hinging over to the right side. Bump those hips out to the left. Make sure you're pulling this shoulder back. You don't wanna look like this in a half moon. You want your body to be in line here. Pull this shoulder back. Pull this shoulder forward. Try to keep your hips towards the front. It's not necessarily in this pose how far you could come down this way. What you're really wanting to feel is that stretch all alongside of this side of your body, all the way from your wrist all the way down to your ankle. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, back bend, let it go. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Roll those shoulders down and out of your ears. Grab that right wrist with that left hand. And look at here, guys. You want to make sure you're tucking through that tailbone. Lift up through that rib cage. You're going to inhale, get a little bit longer. Keep those shoulders out of your ears. And then exhale, pull yourself over to the left side. Hinge over to the left. Bump those hips out to the right. Same thing here. You want to make sure you have this shoulder. You want to pull it back. Left shoulder forward. And really this left hand is pulling that right arm over, that right wrist, to really try to pull so you can really feel that stretch alongside of that body. Make sure your throat is exposed. You don't want to be bunched up. You want a nice long neck. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, back bend, let it go. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Coming into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come down. Inhale, we're just going to step back. You can hop or jump. Stepping back is just fine. Coming into that plank pose. Stay high onto those tiptoes. You want to make sure your shoulders are over your wrist here. Push the mat away. Your hips and your shoulders should be in line. You don't want to be down here and you don't want your butt way up here. Try to level it off. You're going to inhale. You're going to come all the way. Inhale. You're going to exhale. You're going to come all the way down to our bellies. Untuck the toes. Keep your hands right here by your chest area. Keep your elbows hugged in. You don't want your elbows out to the side. Keep them into the rib cage. We're going to come into a full cobra. So inhale, come all the way up. Push the mat away. Push into the tops of your feet. Push down through your thighs. You want to keep your shoulders. You don't want to look like this. You want to push the mat away. Roll those shoulders down and out of your ears. Just breathe here. From here, we're just going to get a little stretch in our neck. So bring your chin down to your chest. And let's bring our chin all the way over to our left shoulder. And slowly bring that chin down and around. Come all the way over to the right shoulder. Slowly bring that chin down to your chest. Tuck your toes behind you. Lift up, push the mat away. Lift your hips. Coming back to down dog. Breathing in and out through your nose. We're going to salute to the gods and the goddesses. Do some Deva Namaskar. So lift that right foot all the way up to the sky. Bring that right knee into your chest. And come and put that foot in between your hands. You want to stay high on that left foot. Make sure you have a good, sturdy, solid foundation here. And we're going to inhale, come all the way up. Bring those hands up and overhead, coming into our crescent lunge. Remember what we went through the first time. Keep lifting up through this hamstring. Keep this right knee over that ankle and try to sink it down in those hips just a little bit more. Bring those hands into prayer overhead. Bring that left thumb to hook over that right thumb. And then slowly start dropping that back knee, your left knee down to the mat. Untuck the toes. Let that shin go flat. Push into the top of that left foot. You want to push down into that shin. That's what's going to stabilize you. Try to squeeze your thighs together to help you get a little bit more balance. Bring your chin into your chest. Bring your belly to your spine. And then we're going to round and curl, bringing our forehead to our knee. You can separate your hands. Frame your foot for stability, or you can keep them into prayer with your hands over your foot. From here, you really, the same way like in our yogi ball, you want to pull up through that pelvic floor, keep that chin tucked tightly into your chest. Your goal here is to get your forehead to your knee. We are on our right side, it's our masculine side. We're saluting to the gods. So maybe you want to send a little bit of love and light to any male that might need it in your life. Or if you are a male practicing this evening, maybe you need to send yourself a little bit of love and light. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. If you separated your hands, bring it back into prayer position over that foot. Keep that chin tucked into your chest, and then slowly start coming all the way up and out. Separate the hands, cactus the arms, push your hips forward and come into a little back bend. Inhale, hands up and overhead. And we're going to exhale, bring both hands inside of that right foot. Working on a little bit of hips. We want to heel toe that foot to the edge of the mat. Maybe wiggle it a little bit closer to the top. Coming into a lizard pose. So from here, you can stay exactly right here. If this feels fine, stay here. If you want a little bit more, you could take that right hand inside of that right thigh and just give yourself a little push out. If you want a little bit more, you also come down to your forearms. And if you had a block or a pillow or a towel that you could build up and bring the floor to, you could also rest your arms on that as well. And And if you're a level 3, well, you already know you could tuck those back toes and come high onto that left leg. Wherever your body is, wherever your practice is this evening, that's where you want to take it. Breathe in and out through your nose. Wherever you feel like that little bit of, I don't want to say pressure, because if there's pressure, please immediately come out of the pose. But like the tension, the stretch, wherever you feel where it's at, try to take a deep breath and send that air to that part of your body so it loosens up, so it's not so tight. Wherever you're at, bring that left hand underneath that shoulder. Bring that right hand underneath the shoulder. Slowly come back. Bring that right foot, heel toe it all the way back to the center of the mat. Frame your foot, tuck your toes, lift up off of that left knee, and then swing that right foot back to meet the left, coming into your plank pose. This time we're going to take it into a full chaturanga, the full expression. If you feel more comfortable just doing the baby cobra or a cobra, you could totally do that as well. If we're taking the full chaturanga, shift that body weight over those wrists just slightly, hug those elbows into your rib cage. Exhale, come halfway down. Don't let your chest pass your arms. Stay right here. Let your chest be right where your arms are at. We're going to untuck our toes, and we're going to pull our chest up and through, coming into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. You want to push the mat away. Keep those shoulders out of your ears. We don't want to look like this. We want to be high and proud. Shine your chest. Shine that heart. Bring your chin into your chest. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Push it back. Coming back into our downward facing dog. Remember breathing in and out through your nose. Try not to get overwhelmed. We're going to work on our left side, Deva Namaskar to the left. So let's lift that left foot up all the way to the sky. Bring that left knee into your chest. Roll it forward. Place that left foot in between your hands. Same thing here, left knee over that left ankle, pull that right hip, or left hip back, right hip forward. And then we're going to inhale, bring your hands up and overhead. Coming into that crescent lunge. And remember, lift through this hamstring. So act like there's like a string, and it's pulling that hamstring up. Keep your shoulders out of your ears. Bring your hands into prayer overhead, and then slowly drop down to that right knee. Untuck your toes, let your shin go flat. Push into that top of that foot. That helps with your wobbliness, so you have balance. You want to bring that left thumb over the right thumb over the left this time. Whichever way you did your thumb last time, do it the opposite way this time. You want to make sure you're pushing down through that shin. Bring your chin into your chest, and then pull your belly to your spine. And naturally, once you start pulling your belly to your spine, you can automatically start feeling your body wanting to round and curl, bringing your forehead to your knee. Separate your hands here for stability if you need to, or you could always take that challenge and keep them into prayer over that foot. Remember, keep that chin tucked to your chest. If you see me, I don't have my forehead all the way to my knee right now because trying to talk and have my chin to my chest and my forehead to knee, you guys, I would sound super funny. And we're on the left side. So the left side is our feminine side. So maybe we need to send some love and light to any females in our life. If you're a female practicing this evening, maybe we need to send that love and light to ourselves as well. Keep that chin tucked to your chest. Keep that belly. Try to pull it up and under your rib cage. Try to pull that belly to your spine. Pull up through that pelvic floor. If you separated your hands, bring them back into prayer. Keep that chin tucked to your chest and then come all the way up. We're going to separate our hands, push the hips forward, cactus the arms back, bend, let it go. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, bring both hands inside of that left foot. And then heel toe that left foot to the edge of your mat. Lizard on the left side. Remember, you could stay right here. If this is fine for you, stay just here. If you want a little bit more, you could come onto the edge of that left foot. Bring that left hand inside that left thigh and just give yourself a little push. Wherever you took it on the right side, let's even it out and take it exactly there on the left side. I had the block earlier, so put the block underneath me. And just focus on the breath. We store a lot of our stress and emotion in our hips, so it's kind of good to do a little hip opener here and there, relieve any pressure, any stress, any tension. Wherever you're at, everybody come back to center. Bring that right hand under your right shoulder, left under left. Straighten out your leg. And then heel toe that left foot back to the center of your mat. Frame your foot. Tuck those toes behind you. Lift up off that right knee. Sweep the left foot back to meet the right. And go into your variation of a chaturanga. We're going to all meet in downward facing dog. From here, slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Measure 2 fist distance here. Put that in between. That's about hips distance. Bend your knees as much as you need to get your belly to rest on your thighs. Excuse me. Keep your hands flat to the mat right now. And feel how it feels to have your belly on your thighs, okay? Let your head hang heavy. And from this position, keep squatting down, and all we're going to do is inhale. We're going to start lifting our chest, lifting up off of our thighs, coming into a chair pose. You want to make sure you're tucking through your tailbone, lifting up through your rib cage. Breathing in and out through your nose. Bring your hands into prayer. Bring it into your chest. Keep breathing in and out. Try to squeeze. Don't try to have your thighs touch. So in a chair pose, if you're comfortable with your legs touching, that's totally fine. What I'm trying to get just the feeling of trying to pull your legs together, but you're not necessarily having your legs touch. So just that intertwine of our thighs. Keep right here. And then exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale down. Bend your knees as much as you can again. Bring that booty down. Then inhale, come up. Hands overhead into our chair pose. Bring your hands to heart center. And we're going to hook our left elbow outside of our right thigh. Keep those hands in the center. Try to keep your booty low. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, go over to the left. Remember, keep that booty low. We don't want it up here. Try to level it out. Inhale, back to center. Hands come down to mat. Lift your hips. We're going to inhale, half lift. And then exhale, come down. Inhale, come all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. Inhale those hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend, let it go. Inhale, hands up and overhead. And then what we're going to go into is a standing bow. So where you're at, we're going to drop this right hand. We're going to let it rotate one time back. Inhale up. Rotate it again. Come all the way up. And one more time. All the way up. We're going to go forward now with it. So let it drop in front of you. Just trying to loosen up our shoulders. So in our standing bow, our Dandayamana Dharnurasana, you use your shoulders, so we really want to open it up. What we're going to do here is inhale. We're going to bring this right hand to our hip. Our thumb is going to be facing towards the back, our palm face forward. Step forward with our left foot and engage this thigh. Keep a micro bend into your knee and really, really engage your thigh. Use that thigh muscle to hold yourself up. I'm going to slightly start shifting our weight. Shift. Come high onto those toes on the right foot. Right here, you're already in the beginning stages of standing bow. So if this is all you have, stay right here, and that's totally fine. If you have a little bit more, bend that right knee, bringing that heel up towards your booty. Reach on the inside of your foot. We don't want to be out here because we can't kick into our hand. You want to make sure you grab the inside of that foot, the shin, or your ankle. Wherever you're at, make sure to bring both knees to touch before you try to move anywhere. Make sure you have a nice tight, like a zipper, like somebody zipped you up down the middle. Practice your balance here just for a moment. And then slowly drop that hand down in front of you and then kick into that back foot. So you're going to kick into that back foot, lifting it up. Make sure your knee's not out here. It's right here. And even at home, if you guys can't get that and there's a wall, come up to the wall. Put your hand on the wall itself. Give yourself enough distance. Grab the inside of your foot and then really kick. This will start helping you get better at the pose. Wherever you're at, if you fall out, that's fine. Fall out, wiggle around. And all that matters is to get right back into it and try it just for a little bit longer. Remember, it's yoga practice, not yoga perfect. And then slowly, wherever you're at, come down to the center. Inhale, both hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Working on the left side, drop that left arm. Rotate it 3 times behind you. And then 3 times towards the front, just opening up that shoulder. On that third one, stop it at your hip. And palm face up, thumb towards the back. And we're going to step forward with the right foot. Engage that quad. Feel that leg work. That's what's holding you up, is that quad. And then slowly start shifting. Coming high onto those left toes. Like I said here before, stay here. If this is all you got, this is fine. If you want a little bit more, you could bring that heel up to your booty. Say if this is all you have and you can't reach around, stay here as well. If you want more, grab the inside of that foot, the shin or the ankle. Remember, you want to zip up the middle of your body. Before you move anywhere, you want to make sure those legs are tight together. You're going to drop this right hand down in front of you, about eye length. Is that right? Is that a good term? Eye, like at your eye level? There you go, eye level. And then we're going to kick into that back hand. And just like I said here, you might wobble, you might shake, and that's okay. Have fun. It's a yoga practice, not yoga perfect. Have all the fun you can with it. If you fall out of it, that's okay. Get right back into it. Sorry, guys. If you have the wall, practice on the wall, hand flat, grab the inside of that foot, and kick into your leg. That's one of the easiest ways I had learned this pose. Try it again wherever you're at. If you fall out of it, it's okay. Smile, have fun. And then slowly come back to center. Bring both hands up and overhead. And then exhale, back bend. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, bring your hands down towards your hips. From here, we're going to work on tree pose, Virtrasana, sorry. Hands on your hips is more for your balance. It's a little bit easier to balance if your hands are on your hips. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you could bring them into heart center. Wherever you're at, that's your choice. We're going to step out with that right foot. And then we're going to bring that right foot inside of that left thigh or left shin, ankle area, like a little kickstand. This is to figure out your balance. In tree pose, you really are trying to open that knee up towards the back of the room, towards the back of you, really opening up our hips here. With tree, I like to take a couple of breaths in each pose and then go into a full expression. So you can slowly start sliding that foot up, that shin. You never want your knee to rest on your knee to rest on your knee. You never want your foot to rest on your knee. So make sure to bypass that knee and pull it inside of that thigh. Keep a micro bend into that left knee. You don't want to lock that knee out. Don't hyperextend. If wherever you're at, you could grow your branches out. You could have one down, one up. Let them flow because it's windy out. Whatever you like, just have fun. Smile. If you really want to get creative and you want to have fun, you could do a sundial. Wrap your fingers around that big toe and then kick that foot out. Wherever you're at, or you could always bring this foot inside of that thigh. Wherever you're at, have fun. Take a couple breaths. And then slowly bring your hands back into prayer, into your chest center. And then slowly let that foot come out. Keep it hip height. Flex your toes. Balance, balance, balance. Release. Good job, guys. Going on the left side. You're going to inhale and then exhale. Take a step out with that left foot. Point your toes. And then bring that left foot inside of that right thigh. Or I keep on wanting to say thigh. First, start off on your shin, your ankle area. So you can really start feeling that hip open. That knee falls out to the back of the room. And then bring that foot more to the center of your shin, calf area. Remember, keep letting this knee fall out to the back. Keep your hips squared. Keep them squared to the front. Then bring it a little bit inside of that thigh. Like I said, wherever you take it on one side, make sure to match it on the other. Ooh. Inhale those hands up and overhead. If you did the little sundial, wrap those two fingers around that big toe, kick it out. Woo! And then you can bring that foot inside that thigh. Bring your hands back to center wherever you're at. Take one more deep breath here. Now slowly release that foot. Keep that knee hip height. Flex those toes towards your knees. and then slowly drop that foot down. From here, close your eyes, roll your shoulders down and back, tuck through your tailbone, and breathe. Come back to where we started in class. Maybe focus on that color, the word to help you get through this, the mantra. Just try to focus on your breath. Don't let anything else come into your mind. Slowly start opening your eyes. Take a bow to your standing series. You guys did great. We're done with standing. We're going to come down to the mat and do a few stretches here on the mat. I'm just going to do a spine twist. So your feet are out in front of you, straight out. Sit up with a nice spine. Bring this right leg, this right foot to come on the outside of that left thigh. You want to make sure your right knee is in your center plank of your body. You could interlace your fingers around that shin and really try to sit up straight. If you guys are more advanced and you have levels 3s in you, you could also bend this left leg and sit kind of like a pretzel. Wherever your body is at this evening, that's where you want to take it. You're going to inhale your hands up and overhead. And then exhale, you're going to twist all the way to the right. Bring that right hand behind you. Place it behind you, kickstand it. This left hand, you want to bend that elbow, and you want to hook it on the outside of that right thigh. So an easy way to start twisting, try to pull your belly closer into your spine. Every exhale, you could get a little bit deeper and deeper. And then slowly start taking that eye gaze behind you. Focus on your breath. You guys are doing great. And then slowly inhale that left hand up. That right hand to follow. And then exhale, counter twist towards the left side. Just place both hands and just kind of twist this way. Come back to center. Uncross that right foot. Maybe windshield wiper your legs. Bring that left foot, cross it over that right thigh. And the same thing here. If you want to bend this knee and come into more of your legs are more, I don't know what I'm trying to say, sorry guys. Where your right heel is towards your bottom. This is totally fine too. Like I said, wherever your body is this evening, that's where you take it. Want to make sure flex. If you have your foot straight out in front of you, flex your toes towards your face. Pull that left knee to the center part of your body. Inhale, hands up and overhead. And exhale, twist. Drop that left hand behind you, kickstand it. Make sure you're pushing the mat away. Don't lock your elbow. Make sure you have a micro bend. Bring that right hand outside of that left thigh. And then just slowly start twisting your body over to the left. Maybe take that eye gaze over that left shoulder. Breathing in and out through your nose. Inhale, bring that right hand up. Bring that left hand to follow. Slowly turn to this side. And then just kind of twist, counter out. It's like a counter pose to what we just did. Uncross your legs. Let them come out in front of you. Inhale, hands up and overhead. Make sure you're reaching up. Try to lift up through your rib cage and then slowly come all the way down. Letting your hands naturally fall. Before we round and curl and bring our forehead to our knees, try to push out through your chest. Try to get a nice long spine. Breathe. And then you can bring your chin into your chest and bring your forehead to your knees. Just breathing here. And you're going to inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Bring your hands up and overhead. And then slowly just start laying back down on the mat, letting your spine fall down one vertebrae at a time. Keep your chin tucked, and then bring your hands down. Coming into our first Shavasana, you want to make sure your shoulders are underneath your chest. Keep a slight tuck into your chin into your chest. And we're going to inhale, we're going to bring both of our feet flat onto the mat. We're going to go into Janu Uttanasana, 1 foot to knee pose. So inhale, lift that right foot all the way up to the sky. And then you're going to bring this right heel to hang over that left thigh. So you want to make sure that your right foot, like you could rotate your ankle 3 times one way and then 3 times the other. From here, take that right hand, place it inside that right thigh, and slowly just gently give yourself a push. You should feel a push and pull sensation in your hips right here. Keep that right foot flexed, those toes flexed to the knee. And if you want a little bit more and you're like, hey, I'm not feeling anything, take that right hand, place it inside of that hole that we made with our legs. And you're going to lift this left foot off the ground, bringing that knee towards your face. Interlace your fingers underneath your thighs. And you want to make sure that this right elbow is pushing on that right thigh. And you want to bring both knees, make sure you're flat on the floor as well, your shoulders are down. And you want to bring both knees into your chest. This left foot, you don't want it to hang down. You want to keep it active. Keep those toes flexed. Keep it at a 90 degree and kind of help pull those knees closer to your chest. Should feel really good on your IT band. If you're super flexible and you're like, sure, I don't feel anything, interlace those fingers and place them over your shin, right underneath your kneecap. Take a couple of breaths here. And then slowly let go of your shin. Sorry, guys. Let that foot go flat. Let that right foot come up in the air. Place it down on the mat. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Bring your forehead up to your knees. And then relax. Let both feet come flat onto the mat. Lift that left foot up to the sky and let that left ankle hang off of that right thigh. You could rotate it 3 times one way and then 3 times the other. Take that left hand inside that left thigh. Or if you already know that you want to interlace your fingers, so take that left hand, put it inside that hole we just made, interlace your fingers behind that right thigh, behind that hamstring, pull both knees into your chest. Keep both feet flexed. Really should feel good all along outside of that left hip, so that outer hip on that IT band. I went and I ran stairs yesterday with a really good friend of mine, and my hips are feeling it right now, that's for sure. You interlace those fingers over that shin, do that here. Make sure you're still pushing out on that left thigh with that left elbow. Slowly let those fingers come off those shins. Let that foot go flat. Lift that left foot into the sky. Bring that right foot up to meet. From here, bend your knees. Give yourself a big hug. One more tight hug, forehead to knee. Tell yourself you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're handsome. You tuned in this evening to get a good yoga stretch. And then slowly bring your shoulders down towards the mat. Bring your head down on the mat. Let those knees come a little bit closer to your chest. And then slowly lift those legs all the way up to the sky. Flex your toes towards your face. Hands come down on the side of you. And then just gently let them fall all the way down towards the mat. Coming into your last and final Shavasana for the evening. Close your eyes. Breathe in and out through your mouth, through your nose. Try to focus on that color, that word, that mantra that we started off with in class. Letting your mind calm down. Controlling your heart rate by breathing in and out through your nose. Relax every muscle in your face. Let that jaw relax. That tongue, let it fall down to the bottom of your mouth. Inhale to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax here. Every inhale, fill that belly, fill up with air. Let it rise towards the sky. And then exhale, you want to pull that belly as close as you can to your spine. Bring your hands into prayer over your forehead. Repeat after me. I intuit the truth. Bring your hands to your lips. I speak the truth. And bring your hands to heart center. I am the truth. The love and light inside of me honors and respects each and every one of you guys. Namaste. Stay here as long as you need to. I always say your Shavasana, you want to stay there maybe 15 to 20 breaths. But hey, if you're at home and this is all you have for tonight to do, just stay there for the rest of the evening. Thank you guys for letting me guide you through your yoga practice. I'll be back on Saturday at noon if you guys want to tune in, and also on Sunday at 9:30. Have a good evening. See you guys soon. Bye.